This who these Democrats defending, ladies and gentlemen. This who these Democrats defending, y'all. Sad, man. Sad. Let's get into this story here, y'all. One illegal migrant arrested with no name on his driver's license, y'all. Like I told y'all, they give him CDLs, license, all types of shit they got off the American people back. That's sad, man. And these niggas still out here capping for these motherfuckers, man. Why? Because it's their investment. They invested heavily into these illegal migrants. That's why they fighting so hard for them, y'all. Think about it. They don't give a damn about you. Their investment. They fighting for their investment right now. That's on the line. Let's get into this story, though.
Political theater may have a lot of opportunities for television and such, but it doesn't get the job done of fighting crime.
It is shameful. You don't run and hide if you're proud of what you're doing. That's what ICE is doing.
Illinois is going to use every lever at our disposal to resist this power grab and get Noam's thugs the hell out of Chicago.
Calling
they told
ICE
us that this
thugs,
was about the worst of the worst. In reality, they are going after anyone who objects to families being ripped apart and community members being disappeared.
Defending mooks and LGBT.
Oh, that's Democrats defending the worst of the worst arrested during Operation Midway Blitz. So let's meet some of them and see if Mayor Johnson is correct. This is just a small sampling of those that have been arrested in the more than 1,000 taken off the streets of Chicago. You have this individual convicted of murder, another one, 3 DUI convictions, 2 domestic violence convictions. This individual from Mexico convicted of DUI and arrested for terroristic threats. The list continues. This Austrian illegal violent criminal convicted of sex offender, convicted of sexually assaulting a family member under the age of 6. Another convicted of armed carjacking and robbery. You've got convicted of battery and domestic violence. By the way, are you listening, Mayor Johnson? None of this sounds like innocent individuals who are here illegally committing these violent crimes. It continues, convicted of a sexual assault of a child. This individual from Mexico convicted of weapons offense and concealing a homicide death. Arrested for sexual assault of a child, domestic battery, and last but not least, you have an individual convicted of multiple counts of domestic battery and strangulation. Joining us now is former ICE Director and Federal Prosecutor Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, we wanted to lay that list out because it's clearly not the case when we hear Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker saying that innocent people are being disappeared. These are violent, convicted, illegal alien criminals.
Yes, and the worst part about it is Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson have done everything in their power to keep those people in the United States, which is totally shameful. And that clip you played earlier, Senator Durbin talking about political theater or whatever, this has been the greatest political theater that these Democrats have ever had the opportunity to get involved in. And it's so shameful the way they attack, malign, defame ICE agents every chance they get, particularly in light of what happened a couple weeks ago in Dallas. But these men and women are putting their lives on the line to make not only Chicago safer, but to make the United States safer. And despite what Mayor Johnson wants, Governor Pritzker wants, they don't have the right to have their own immigration policy. And President Trump has a responsibility to the citizens of the United States as well as the citizens of Illinois to remove illegal aliens, particularly the most dangerous ones.
You said something important there, Jonathan, about a state wanting to have their own immigration policies. This is the fundamental problem with sanctuary cities. States do want to have their sanctuary immigration policies that protect violent criminals, illegal alien criminals, to run loose. But for the life of me, this isn't opining. These are simple facts. Those are convicted criminals. So why are the Democratic leaders like Pritzker and Johnson being dishonest about who ICE is arresting?
That is one of the most shameful things. They are so dishonest. And you're right, sanctuary cities are one of the biggest problems that have caused the most damage to our country in terms of like criminal, victims like, we always go back to Lake and Riley, Sanctuary City in New York caused that crime, as well as other Biden policies. But yeah, they're so dishonest about this, but it just shows you how extreme the Democratic Party is on this issue, because they are for full-on open borders, full-on amnesty, and that's a non-negotiable position within the Democratic Party. And we know Governor Pritzker is using this to sort of launch his 2028 presidential campaign, and he has to put himself out there full-on open borders, full-on anti-President Trump. And it's so shameful that he's willing to put his presidential ambitions ahead of the safety of his residents of Illinois.
Yeah, Jonathan, I've only got about 20 seconds left, but we did have an individual, an illegal alien from India, got a commercial driver's license in New York with no name on his license. How is that even possible?
It's shameful. Yeah, you have these Lanews getting licenses all over the place. And these states like New York, like California, don't even care. And we had that tragedy in Florida about a month or so ago where 3 people were killed by somebody that got one in California. It's so shameful. We need to make sure our streets are safe. Everything is safe, and illegal aliens should not be getting licenses. We need the safest people out there driving trucks and driving everything else.
And not getting CDLs with no name literally on it. Jonathan Fahey, thank you for your insight and for getting up early on Saturday for us.